Okay, fine. So in waterfall model, the requirement is completed first. Okay, then after that, analysis. Okay, this is also completed after that. After analysis, what do we do? Design. Yeah. After that, coding. Okay, once you have not designed it, the architect have not designed any blueprint or any map, can you build any structure, any building? You cannot, right? You need to design first, right? Design, then after that coding or development. Fine. Then after, we do testing, then the release, then the maintenance. Okay, fine. So in waterfall model, what happens is, once the requirement is completed, okay, completed, it is not further allowed to change any of the requirement. Okay, suppose the client want any web page, and he want, as I said earlier, like he want Google page, as I said. Okay, the requirement is complete, so he is not allowed to change anything furthermore. Okay, the requirement, he have said like, I want this input box to button, 3 links should be present in that link, so that's it. Okay, we are not allow him or the client to change his requirement furthermore in waterfall model. Okay, because if he do changes accordingly, suppose we are in development phase and testing phase. Okay, if client comes and wanted to tell us like, hey, I just wanted to add one more button, but in this case the estimation is done already. Okay, the resource allocation is done already. So if we'll come to that requirement, so everything will be impacted, right? Like analysis has to be done once again, this estimation costing should be done once again, so all the things should be repeated. Okay, because we have already done for a whole software. Okay, analysis and costing, everything is done, but he want to change some requirement, then it is quite difficult. Okay, so that's why the waterfall model is not that much efficient. Okay, so in this case, requirements define the needed information, function, behavior, performance, and interface. Here, the requirement is completed, then design is completed, implementation is completed. Okay, we cannot go again to change any requirement, or we cannot go back. Okay, because water never, okay, go in a reverse direction. Never. Okay, it will not never, go from bottom to top. That's why this process of software development life cycle is called waterfall model. Okay, everything like requirement is completed, that's it, it's completed. That then after that, the next step would be design. Once design is completed, that's it. We are not allowed to go the requirement and gather requirement from the clients once again. Okay, once we are in the testing page, we are not allowed, or developer are done, they are not allowed to change any requirement or change anything, but they will do what? They will do just defect fixing. Anything like a wrong identified by the tester, that will be assigned back to the developer. That's it. No other requirement, nothing new. Okay, nothing new would be implemented here in the development page. You can understand, right, what are the waterfall model. Okay, that means we cannot backtrace. Okay, every phase is completed, then we'll move to the next phase. Got it? Fine. So this is what is the strength of the waterfall model? Easy to understand. Actually, it is easy to understand. Simple. Okay. One phase is completed completely, then we'll move to the next phase. It's a simple. Okay. Provide the structure to inexperienced staff. If someone is not experienced in, some manager is not experienced in software development, then they do follow this type of structure, that they do not want to take some headache, like if something happens or something done wrongly, then that would be more impact on the business, because in agile method that happens. We'll talk about agile, what happens in agile. Okay. Then it sets the requirement stability. It's more stable. Waterfall model is more stable because one phase is completed, then they will move the next phase and it will take a long time. So it's a good for management control. Okay. When we should go for this, when the quality is more important than cost or schedule, because it's the most costlier. Waterfall model is most costlier because it take a lot time. Okay. And quality, but quality is more important here, and you'll get the quality. Okay. What are the deficiency, what is the disadvantage of this waterfall model? So there are some disadvantages as well. All the requirement must be known. Okay. So requirement, whatever the customer wants, he has to give in one shot only. Okay. Like whatever he wanted in his software, he should know everything. In after after he's giving his requirement, if further he thought that, hey, if I would implement this feature in my software, that would be good for my business. But if will come later, in later on, if he come to that company, they he will not be allowed to change his requirement. Okay. So this is one drawback of this waterfall model. Okay. Then deliverables, okay, created for each phase are considered frozen. As I said, deliverable means the requirement. In requirement analysis, what happens? SRS document, whatever the document they have written in each phase, that is called deliverable. What is delivered to the next phase? Okay. Like customer comes to BS or maybe some senior manager of that company, they said this is my requirement. Okay. So that is a requirement analysis page, this page. Okay. This requirement analysis page, they come, the customer come to this company and said this is my requirement. Okay. So all the requirement is being documented somewhere. What was that document name? SRS or BRD, business requirement document, right? So that business requirement document is called what? Deliverables. Okay. For this particular phase. Okay. Requirement phase. Deliverable means that document will deliver to this design phase then. Okay. So in design phase also there are some deliverables. What are the deliverables in design phase? There are wireframe, there is a technical requirement document, there are some other estimation and costing. So everything is being present here. So these are the requirement documents or deliverables for this particular page. Okay. And in this thing, this implementation or development phase, what are the deliverables? Sorry. Yeah, this is a development page. After designing, we suppose it's a development. Implementation means development page. So what is the deliverable for this? What would be the outcome of from this developer? Code. Yeah, code means it's a software. Okay. Whole software will be delivered to testing cycle. And what would be deliverable for testing? they test whatever they test, like test cases. They will sign up that, okay, they will test plan and test strategy document. There is test cases document. So all is what are the expected and what is the actual result document. Okay, TCS, TCER. So all are the things are the deliverables for this testing phase. Okay, we'll talk more about that. What are the deliverables for each cycle, specifically for testing cycle? What is the test strategy document? What is the test planning? What is the test? So everything. Okay. Then installations, maintenance, we are not going to bother about it. This is altogether a different thing. But we are more concerned about till testing. Okay, what happens after that, maintenance and all. So that is not our work. There's some other team for testing perspective. Till testing cycle we are responsible. Okay, got it. What is the strength and what are the deficiency? There are a lot of deficiencies as well, like can give a false impression of progress. Okay, like progress, sometimes what happens in real companies, like when you work in a real environment in companies or in waterfall. Yeah, tell me. In waterfall model what happens is, like they got a lot of time. Okay, like 3 to 4 months to complete testing. So what they do, first 1 or 2 months they will not work anything. Okay, they will not work anything. They will just do the environment setup, they will do everything, just they won't do anything seriously. But the last 1 or 2 months they will work hard to meet the deadline. Okay, so this is kind of the false impression of progress. They, but they will show the client that, hey, we have done this, but they ideally are not doing anything. Okay, so these are the things, these are the disadvantages of waterfall model. Okay, one big bang at the end. Yeah, as I said, like if they not meet the deadline, it's a very difficult situation, right? Little opportunity for customer to review the system. Okay, customer also is not involved. Okay, because they have given the requirement and they are now sitting in their home. Okay, once the testing is complete, then release cycle will come, then only they will come. Okay, to see what are the outcome of that particular cycle. Okay, so it takes like 1 or 2 years sometime to deliver that particular software. So it's a huge time for a customer, but they do not want, any customer nowadays, they don't want a huge amount of time to to sit ideal. Like they have given requirement 1 year back, then after 1 year they are thinking and they are coming to check like what you have done, guys. Okay, so this kind of deficiencies are present in waterfall model. When to use waterfall model? If the requirement is very well known by the customer or end user, then we'll go for this waterfall model. If the product definition is stable, so everything is clear, everything is crystal clear, then we'll go for waterfall model. And technology is also understood. New version of existing product. If the existing product is already being developed by that company, but if some new customer will come and he also want the same type of software, okay, then definitely that company will say like, hey, we have that software. Okay, so we can do this. We can like we can they will just develop the similar kind of product, because they have all the requirement document, they have all the source code, everything, but they need to change some little of the things in there, all the pages of SDLC. Okay, and porting an existing product to a new platform. As I said, the same thing, like they have existing software, they can just do some change modification and they can deliver to the client. So in these scenarios we use waterfall model. There is a V-shape model is the most important thing. Okay, and you will get a lot of questions in interviews like what is a V model and how it works. Fine. So V model is like in waterfall model, what happens is the requirement cycle is completed, then this cycle will come, requirement analysis, then designing, then coding. Okay, detailed designing, then coding, then testing, then release, then that thing UAT and all. Okay, maintenance. But in waterfall model, in a V-shape model, what happens is the requirement and the client's verifications or UAT, then development and testing. Okay, all the work is goes on parallel. Okay, hello. Okay, fine. So what happens is when the customer or client, okay, come to any particular company, they said I want to follow the V-shape model and I want everything to be in a fast paced manner. Okay, so in that case what happens is once he gave all the requirement to the BAs, okay, BA will do the requirement documented somewhere in business requirement document, correct? And the same time, okay, we have something called release cycle, right? Release, as I said, release cycle is there. So for release also we can write some conditions, some test cases for that. We can accordingly we can make one environment for that. So simultaneously we are working for the end, toward the end. Okay, here the requirement for this planning, but here the production, operation and maintenance work is also designed accordingly. All the environment, all the document is ready simultaneously. Then when we go to this requirement analysis and designing phase, so in the same time we can acceptance testing criteria we have written sorry, we have written all the document present in this acceptance testing cycle or UAT. Okay, user acceptance testing, because user also will test that application when after the release, right? In the release what happens, the client also want to see that application is working fine or not according to their requirement, correct? So in that case what happens is they will have some conditions or they have some test cases. So that test cases is being parallelly designed here. Okay, when the requirement, yeah. This thing in Hindi, but the thing is that I can tell you in Hindi, but the thing is that what happens is like in interview or someone will ask you to uh, you need to know all the terminology or this being present in software industry. So I'll be go little slower if you want. Okay, so let me know once any problem, like anywhere if you lag or somewhere, just let me know. So okay, V model, what happens is it is parallelly we are doing some other task as well. But in waterfall model what happened, like requirement is completed, then we'll go to that next page, that is analysis, as I said in earlier, right? Then after that we go for designing, then after that we go for development, after that then testing. But in this case you can see we have gathered the requirement here, In this cycle, in the same time, the maintenance work environment is already, they have built the maintenance phase. But in that thing, waterfall model, maintenance was in the last. Okay, in waterfall model, maintenance phase was in last. Okay, let me just show you. Just 1 second. Yeah, maintenance cycle was in last phase, correct? But in V say, what happens is, when a requirement is being gathered, the same time the maintenance also is. Okay, this maintenance cycle, the document is being prepared here. Software is not yet designed, developed, or tested. Anything I have not done, but maintenance environment is ready. By seeing the requirement, maintenance people, they also ready, that we are ready. When we are ready with the documentation, we are ready with anything SLS. So everything is being, you know parallelly done, this thing. But in waterfall model, the requirement is completed, then after design, then the maintenance phase, it will take 2 3 months, something like that. Okay, so that happened. But in V shape, V model, as I said, it is parallelly working. 1 second. Yeah, so just 1 second. So in V model, as I said, the thing is working in parallel. Okay, similarly, for a requirement analysis cycle, we have written some acceptance testing or UAT testing criterias. We have documented everything here parallelly. We are not actually testing the application, but we are writing the test cases, test scenarios, everything here parallel to this. Okay, we are ready with everything. Once the development cycle is done, we'll just test the things. Okay, getting that? Any confusion? You can ask me, like, if you have any confusion, let me know. Huh? Maintenance. Yes, maintenance mm, and this design requirement. Okay, requirement gathering and the maintenance phase documents, they all are work parallelly. Okay, the documentation required for this maintenance cycle or maintenance phase. Okay, maintenance phase, they all are work parallelly. Okay, got it? Similarly, for analysis also, okay, designing also, all are parallel. Okay, so you can understand better way, like once we cover everything, like what are the test case design, what. So once we give you some real time scenario to write some test script, test cases. Okay, in that scenario you can relate all the things, how the things work, what is the unit testing, what is the integration testing, how it is being done, and what are the deliverable, what is the need of doing the parallel things over here. Because the application is not being yet developed, but still we are doing something in integration testing cycle, we are doing something in acceptance testing phase. So what we are doing here, we are just documenting everything, we are preparing all the deliverables over here, but we are not testing that application, because the application is not being yet developed. Once the application is being developed here, okay, in this coding cycle, we'll start implementing all the things. We have already done 50% of work over here, and we'll just, once the code is completed, then we'll do the unit testing, we'll do the integration testing, the actual testing we do. Okay, and this acceptance testing, UAT testing we'll do, then we'll do this maintenance thing. Okay, but what happened earlier, we have only designed those documents, we have already covered all the documentations part, we have designed the test cases, we have designed this, you can say, uh, we have designed the uh, TCERs, TCS, everything. Okay, I'll come to that point, like what are the test cases, test strategy, test plan, everything. So understood na? Any doubt, anything here? Sorry. Yes. You just go through this all the thing. Okay, and if you find any difficulties understanding everything, we say waterfall model, these are the two important thing in interview. They will ask what is v-shaped and what is okay, waterfall model, and other type of also there.